I've been in the watch biz for over a decade, collecting for over two, and if you think for a moment that those 20-something years are free of some absolutely disgusting boo-boos, then thank you. I appreciate your faith. Unfortunately, we're both idiots because I've made some proper doozies. The last one, I'm not sure I should even be telling you. Oh dear. So there's not too many people that know this, but my first expensive watch purchase wasn't my Rolex Submariner. I bought the Submariner to celebrate my graduation as an engineer, but I'd already been into luxury watches for a year or so. I'd always had a watch of some description since I was a kid, be it a Casio or a Seiko or something. But there was a specific watch I discovered that made me realise there was a whole extra tier of watchmaking. I can't even remember how I came across that watch. Bearing in mind I grew up in a rough council estate in a part of London that was quite frequently on fire, I didn't really have much awareness of the difference between quartz and mechanical, let alone Rolex and Omega. I'm sure the brand names weren't completely unfamiliar, but they may as well have been Boeing and Airbus for all the relevance they had to me. So I really got the hots for this watch because it was, for me, the revelation of mechanical watchmaking. Okay, so when I tell you what the watch is, don't laugh, alright? It was a U-boat flight deck in bright yellow at 50mm across. I learnt a lesson here which has stayed with me ever since, because what I do remember is that when I came across it, I deliberately looked for confirmation that I should buy it. I didn't expand my discovery elsewhere and perhaps build up a shortlist. I wanted that, and so I got it. To be honest, I didn't hate it, even if my co-workers did, and it did get me started. Looking back now though, I wish I'd done my research properly. So that U-boat, I wore it for a while, even if I did ultimately feel like a bit of a Burke wearing it. You know when you know something doesn't work, so you commit even harder to it. I think they call it the gambler's fallacy. So there I was, gambling with my reputation as a person with taste and judgment, slowly absorbing information online that was eventually going to see me swap it out. In that time, however, I discovered an efficient, affordable way to commute to work. Motorbike. Sick of sitting in traffic, I'd promptly attended a 1-week motorcycle training course, and when I'd finished, having passed with flying colours of course, there waiting for me was a shiny, new-to-me bike. I say bike, I mean Yamaha R1. Now I know what you're thinking. It wasn't a case of if I wrote it off, more when. And you're not wrong. But it wasn't my fault at least. Joining a roundabout in 2 lanes of slow-moving traffic, and the guy next to me decided to go right in the left-hand lane, narrowly avoiding the Aston Martin in front of me and clean cracking my engine casing through my knee. Anyway, mid-air as the flaming bike slid by, I realised that the watch I was wearing was about the same price as the bike itself, and it was just about to eat dirt as I hit the tarmac. The watch, being an absolute brick, fared better than I expected, but I realised I'd done a very silly thing that could have been far more costly. So it was either the watches or the bike that had to go. I think you know how that went. Right, so armed with a watch it turns out I didn't really want, it prompted me to eventually wave the white flag and do what I should have done in the first place: research. Now, back then, that sounds like I'm 100 years old, but it was probably like 15 years ago, Rolex wasn't quite the brand it is now. It was huge, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't trendy, if you know what I mean. Having a gold Rolex was flashy, sure, but a stainless steel sports watch was still a bit niche, a bit nerdy. So I got a no-date Submariner. That was perfect for me. I liked the idea of owning something built around the era space travel and underwater exploration were at their most incredible. This little, let's not deny it, flimsy watch felt every bit as reckless as the stories I'd heard of the Apollo program. Granted, a moody office atmosphere was about as hostile an environment it would face, but you know how it is. I loved that watch. It just felt right. It wasn't too flash or too dainty, wasn't too expensive, but cost enough to feel special. So naturally, I sold it. This was mid to late thousands when Rolex had a major shift in style from the skinny, rattly feel it had adopted in the 50s to the chunky, shiny, fancy look of the first ceramic GMT Master II. So I swapped it out for one of those and instantly regretted it. But I didn't want to go back to the Submariner because it felt like a backward step. I tried various other watches and they just didn't quite stick like the Submariner did. And before I knew it, I couldn't afford the Submariner anyway. This is where it all starts getting a bit weird because, well, you'll see. In trying out a whole bunch of other watches to see if I could replicate the satisfaction of the Submariner, I went through IWC, Panerai, Omega, all great watches that I did enjoy, but for whatever reason none quite scratched the itch in the same way. But there was one watch I wanted to try but didn't. Why? Because I didn't want to make the U-boat mistake again. But I really liked it. Like, really liked it. Care to hazard a guess as to what it might have been? Well, you're not going to get it, so I'll put you out of your misery. It was a Hublot Big Bang, specifically the Ice Bang. Yeah, I know. But I really liked it then, and to be honest, I still really like it now. Yes, it's got a cheap movement. Yes, it's derivative. Yes, the quality and finish are subpar. I know all of these things, and that's why I didn't and won't ever buy it. This is a continuous error from me, because even though I still like it, I'm not going to buy it. Can you believe that? Liking and wanting something but refusing to buy it. I guess I'm just not confident enough to do it. Maybe I think I'll lose reputation or something stupid like that. I don't know. Where I really drop the ball, however, isn't with a watch per se, but with a watch-related thing. The Watchfinder YouTube channel. Now, if you've been following that for a while, you might remember that 2019 was a hugely strong year for the channel, the crescendo of a strong and stable period of growth since it was started a few years before. I could see the trend happening, the build-up to the blow-up. I'd seen it in other channels before where good, consistent performance yielded a nice pat on the back from YouTube in the form of a jump to the next level of views. Coronavirus changed everything. In a number of ways. One, the people who watched our videos, a typically much older audience than the rest of YouTube, stopped watching. They were all busy dealing with the chaos, as we all were. Two, a bunch of other really cool watch YouTubers appeared. We were no longer swimming in a big blue ocean, and the temptation to carry on doing what we were doing was just too great. So that's what I chose to do, stagnating things as others grew up around us. 3. YouTube changed the way it worked, building views from videos and not channels, encouraging recommendations and not subscriber feeds, the arrival of shorts. In hindsight, that's such a clear moment I should have jumped on, but didn't. Channels that embraced the new tools did well, and the ones that didn't got left behind. Anyway, so it's a different game now, a mission of recovery to try and build some momentum again after several years of stagnancy. But there are great channels to be inspired by. Nico Leonard, of course, demonstrated what watch content could be to a new audience. Teddy Baldassar has upped the game in production and consumer advice. Channels like Ben's Watch Club bring affordable watches to the fore. It's my own fault, and now I have to try harder, push to catch up with our performance. I look forward to the challenge, and I hope you do too. Those are my cards on the table. What are yours? What watch-related uh-ohs have you inflicted upon yourself? Get it off your chest in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe as well, and I'll see you next time. Still here? Watch this video next.